right, we got Tyler Relph here with the Rip and Go Show. Tyler Relph's high-level NBA skills trainer, also works with collegiate and high school players. Tyler Relph, how you doing, boss?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you doing this with me.
Man, I appreciate you coming on and talking with us, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Ty, man, where were you born and raised?
So I was born and raised in Rochester, New York, upstate. We call it the 585. So I grew up there, lived there. My parents still live up there.
Got you, man. What part of Rochester are you from? East, west?
So I'm from like the east side. So like you got different towns. So I grew up in a couple different towns. I grew up in Fairport, Pittsford, Victor, and then you got the city. And then you got like Greece, all that. So I was from like the east side of like the towns.
Right, Got you. How was it growing up, would you say, on the east side of Rochester?
I mean, it was where I live, man. I was blessed, man. Like I was super blessed. So for me, it was, I can't ever complain about anything. Like I had everything I needed.
Got you, man. When you say you blessed, man, elaborate on that as far as your upbringing.
You know what I mean? Like my mom played pro basketball, and then my pops played college football. So like, they knew what it took to get to that level that I wanted to get to, and what I mean by that is I saw my dad, 4th grade, took me down to Baden Street, which is a community center down in the city, and I just remember the first time walking in there and being like, damn, like, what the fuck is this? Right. Like, just wow.
In comparison to your peers.
Right.
Looking at life.
Right. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, but I loved it. You know what I mean? Because it was hoops. It was like people working harder. Like that's what it was. Where I was from, where I was, grew up, I was almost like an outcast.
Right.
Because I loved hoops so much. So I was into that culture. I liked Biggie. Biggie was my favorite artist. Like, Bone Thugs.
Right.
Like all that. And nobody else, they listened to Dave Matthews Band.
Right.
So like by saying like I knew I was blessed at an early age, like I knew that I was blessed, man. And that's one of the reasons I always go back to Rochester and I run free camps, because I'm blessed. So for kids in our area to see like the Thomas Bryants, the Isaiah Stewarts, and people come out of that area,
right? Like
it's a big thing.
Absolutely. Y'all got a pretty good basketball culture up in Rochester. Y'all pushing them out at a pretty rapid rate right now. Along with those guys you mentioned, you got Quentin Rose, who had a really good college career and high school career, exactly. You got Nas Carter, who came up out of there. He's had a good college career. You got some guys coming out of there at a pretty rapid rate.